Bilhar. Same. Shall we start, Nana? Of course, we need only 10 minutes time. We have done up to where? What is arithmetic growth? What is geometric growth? Right, Nana? And tell me, Nana, the growth curve for arithmetic growth. How was it?
Linear, sir.
Linear, sir.
Yeah. Whereas for geometric,
Sigmoid.
sigmoid curve or S curve, which represents the three phases: lag phase, log phase, senescent or stationary phase. Nana, what is log phase also called, Nana? What is log phase also called?
Exponential phase.
Yes, exponential phase. Okay. Now, how are these two, arithmetic and geometric, are calculated is to be seen. So first, arithmetic growth. Is calculated as LT is equal to L naught plus RT. Okay, Nana? Net growth is taken as LT. This is initial level of growth. Whereas, what does RT represent? Rate per unit time. Total growth per unit time. Just equation to be remembered, nothing else from here. It is calculated with this formula. You take it as geometric growth. Is calculated as W1 is equal to W naught e to the power RT. E stands for what? Basic logarithm of. Then W1 is again total growth, initial RT per unit time. But base logarithm of. Again, here you just need to remember this better, nothing else to worry about. Just calculate it as what formula used there. Simply remember that. That's it. Then quantitative comparison of growth. Next small aspect it is quantitative comparison of growth. Okay, no? It includes two things. One is called absolute growth, the actual growth. Two, relative growth. So absolute growth is actual amount of growth per unit time. Whereas relative growth is growth per unit initial parameter. That is important. Growth per unit initial parameter. So initial is taken into account in case of relative. Initial is not taken into account in case of absolute growth. Here, two leaves are given for us. One measuring 5 centimeters in diameter. Another measuring 50 centimeters in diameter. This is leaf A, let us take. Leaf B. Okay. Now, in leaf A, growth per unit time observed as reaching 10 centimeters. In leaf B, reaching 55 centimeters. Okay, Nana? Now, tell me, which leaf is with more of absolute growth? Means absolute growth is same for both. Actual growth here by 5 centimeters, there also 5 centimeters increase. Is same for both. That is leaf A and B.
Leaf B.
Okay, Nana? Absolute growth is same. Then relative growth, if it is, do you take it as same? No. Compared to the existing, relative growth of leaf A is calculated as 100%, 100 times more. 5 centimeters became 10 centimeters, so doubled. So we take it as 100%. Accordingly, you tell me now, relative growth of leaf B. You tell me now.
Sir, how is absolute growth?
10%.
Yes. Wait a minute, I'll tell you now. Is 10%. That's it. Absolute growth is actual growth, Nana.
Yeah, but for But for
Four-
leaf you get 10 centimeters.
Sir, it should be 50 to 55 centimeter.
Correct, beta. Wait. I told you. Correction. Numerical possibility on this concept for this weekend itself. Got the idea now?
Got it, sir.
Growth wise, it is
Yes,
same,
sir.
but relative is concerned. Here you found increase by 100 times. There it is only 10%. Because for 50 centimeters, growth is 5 means. If it is 100 centimeters, 10. Isn't it, Nana? Then the last aspect is conditions of growth. Nothing but factors affecting the growth. Shall I rub off this part? Growth per unit initial parameter is relative growth. Okay, Nana?
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Conditions of growth. Nothing but factors of growth. Factors affect growth. Yes, Nana, tell me beta.
Sir, can you say why relative growth of leaf B is 10%, sir?
Yeah, proportion increase, Nana, to the existing. Relative growth is proportion increase to the existing. Got it?
So then it will be 5%, no, sir?
How, Nana? For 50, it has become 55. If it is 100, it will become how much?
110.
Then percentage is increased by?
Yes, sir. Okay.
That's so simple. The conditions of growth. Nothing but factors of growth. Factors that influence growth are two types. One is external or environmental or extrinsic. Yes, Nana, mute करो बेटा. Internal or intrinsic. External or intrinsic or extrinsic, you can easily predict, can be sunlight, temperature, water availability, even carbon dioxide, even oxygen. External or extrinsic. Can even be gravity force also. That's how you have seen positive geotropism, negative geotropism for shoot, positive for root. They constitute external. What can be the internal or plant factors, Nana? Mainly nutrients, which include micro and macronutrients. Two can even be hormones, which we call growth hormones. Can even be genetic predisposition. So genes also. కనిపిస్తుందా నాన్న bottom line?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Determined by the genes. Antenna, up to this is the portion for this weekend test. Growth related, then development next week. So from Krebs cycle onwards, isn't it? TCA cycle onwards, complete respiration, then also growth and development. In that growth part, TCA cycle, of course, a sort of revision for you only. Numericals possible this time more from that aspect because it is already covered for you last week. What was terminal step of electron transport system, Nana?
80%.
Water formation, isn't it? Oxygen being added with 2 electrons, 2 protons. That is the last step of electron transport system. Of course, linked to that oxidative phosphorylation, that is in accordance with chemiosmotic hypothesis. According to chemiosmotic hypothesis, what is the driving force for ATP synthesis, Nana?
Proton grade.
Protons concentration gradient between which two parts in a mitochondrion? Intermembrane space
Intermembrane.
and matrix. There must be more of protons in the intermembrane space, less in the matrix. Then only, while translocating them, while breaking the concentration gradient, when they are moving down the gradient, ATP formation occurs. Kada? Which component of complex 5 causes facilitated diffusion of protons? Complex 5 is nothing but ATP synthase, kada nana? Which component of it will cause? Facilitate
F0.
F0 part, yes. The same in respiration, we are going to call it, sorry, in photosynthesis, we are going to call it ATP synthetase. I don't know why is that difference. Synthetase there means photosynthetic. Synthase there means respiratory. F0, F1, otherwise called complex 1. So through these protons translocate. We call it facilitated diffusion. Protons diffusing with the help of a carrier protein. It is not active pumping because it is the one which is involving ATP formation, not ATP utilization. And that was causing rotation of F1 particle, which is considered the smallest rotatory machine of the universe. Tell me, Nana, which electron carrier was between complex 1 and 3 of ETS?
Ubiquinon.
Yeah.
Ubiquinon.
It was also between who else?
2 and 3.
Complex 3 and 2.
It is common for 1 and 3 as well as 2 and 3. If it is causing transport between 2 and 3, if substrate is
FADH.
FADH2.
oh, yes. Between 1 and 3, if substrate is NADH.
NAD.
ADH plus H.
Okay. What was another mobile carrier of electrons in ETS?
Cytochrome.
Cytochrome C.
Cytochrome C was causing transfer of electrons between
3 and
complex 3 and 4. Where was cytochrome C located in a mitochondria, Nana?
In a membrane space.
surface of inner membrane space. Outer surface.
The outer surface of inner membrane means towards intermembrane space side. Whereas ubiquinon, which is also mobile, but inside the membrane it is. Cytochrome C, mobile electron carrier, but outside the membrane, on the outer surface of membrane, outer surface of inner membrane, towards perimitochondrial space or intermembrane space. Further. Which part component of electron transport system and oxidative phosphorylation, if we take, was causing translocation of only protons?
F0.
Yes, complex 5, that is F0 part of complex 5, right now. Remaining were both electron and proton carriers. But cytochrome C is only electron carrier, Nana. F0 part is only proton carrier. Cytochrome C is only electron carrier between complex 3 and 4, just electrons. Those which cause electrons, protons, then protons, they will be channeling to the intermembrane space.
Sir,
Tell me, beta.
can you once revise electron transport system?
Electron transport system, Nana?
Yes, sir.
Not a problem. How many complexes were involved in that?
5.
I complex.
5 complexes. Mobile carriers?
2 mobile carriers.
2.
Yes. If substrate is NADH, be it that of mitochondrion or even from cytosol also, it can enter and undergo this one. Complex 1, what was it doing, Nana? Oxidation of NADH into NAD plus. Electrons gone to FMN part of complex 1, which is also associated with several iron sulfur centers. Isn't it? Electrons from complex 1 transferred to ubiquinone. While transferring electrons to ubiquinone, it will gather how many protons from matrix to intermembrane space, Nana? 4 protons.
4 protons.
Yes. From matrix to intermembrane. So this is going to establish gradient between this part and this part. They become more here, they become less here. Then ubiquinone will transport electrons to whom, Nana? Ubiquinone will reduce into UQH2. When it undergoes oxidation, its electrons are passed on to complex 3. Which part in complex 3? It is also with iron sulfur center. Only one iron sulfur center, and it is even with cytochrome B and cytochrome C1. So electrons through these go to cytochrome C1 part of complex 3. From there they are passed on to cytochrome C, mobile electron carrier on the outer surface of inner membrane. While passing on electrons to cytochrome C, this will gather how many more protons? 4 more protons. From matrix to intermembrane space. Electrons are with whom now, Nana? Cytochrome C. From cytochrome C, same two electrons are passed on. This is a mobile electron carrier. So it will move and transfer. This is cytochrome C. Be careful, Nana. Cytochrome C1, part of complex 3. Cytochrome C, mobile carrier. So will transfer 2 electrons to whom? Complex 4. Has 2 copper centers, CuA, CuB. In between it has cytochrome A, cytochrome A3. So electrons of cytochrome C accepted here ultimately will be passed on to whom, Nana? Half O2 in presence of 2 protons to form a water molecule. During this time, actually, complex 4 was gathering how many protons, Nana? 4 protons, out of which 2 are added to oxygen, 2 will be translocated to intermembrane space. So, electrons of NADH ended up with whom means water. So, terminal part of electron transport system is oxygen getting added with 2 electrons, 2 protons to form water. So how many protons accumulated here for 1 NADH on oxidation means 4 here plus 4 plus 2. So 10 protons are available. And we know when these are channeled back through F0, F1 complex, nothing but complex 5, every 3 channeled through these were able to form how many ATPs, Nana? 1 ATP. This of course is phosphorylation, that's a different thing. So for 1 NADH which is there in the mitochondrial matrix, this is the result. 10 protons,
3 ATP.
3 ATPs you get accordingly. If FADH2 is the substrate which is part of complex 2, nothing but succinic dehydrogenase. It is associated with FAD. When it oxidizes succinic acid into fumaric acid, this was the only enzyme of TCA cycle not freely present in the matrix. It is there in the inner membrane. So while oxidizing succinic acid into fumaric acid, the 2 electrons are added to FAD, so it becomes FADH2. So literally, FADH2, which we call it as a coenzyme, is part of complex 2. When this undergoes oxidation, its electrons will be passed on to whom, Nana? Ubiquinone, same ubiquinone. That becomes ubiquinone H2, reduced form called ubiquinol. Then it will transfer the 2 electrons. Same like this ubiquinone, it is also doing. Electrons from complex 3 pass through cytochrome C, A, end up with water. In which case, complex 1 does not participate. If it is so, for 1 FADH to undergo oxidation, we have only 6 protons.
6 protons.
Yes. 4 as usually from complex 3, but only 2 from complex 4, as usual that is. So complex 1 won't be there if substrate is FADH2. Complex 2 won't be there if substrate is NADH. But the difference is NADH starts from complex 1, whereas FADH starts from complex 2. Ubiquinone is common between 2 and 3 and also 1 and 3. So for 1 FADH2, you can get 2 ATPs. Whereas for one NADH, you can get 3 ATPs. Reason is NADH, if oxidized, was gathering 10 protons on the intermembrane space side. So that was making a difference. Okay, Nana? Now, if I call complex 1 as NADH oxidase, am I right?
No, sir.
Dehydrogen.
Yes, it can as well be oxidase or dehydrogenase, Nana. Dehydrogenation is nothing but oxidation only, no better. Removal of hydrogens, electrons, protons is oxidation. You can call it. So NADH dehydrogenase or NADH oxidase. If I call it as ubiquinone reductase, am I right? Yes, because complex 1 is donating electrons to ubiquinone, so causing reduction of ubiquinone, so you call it reductase also. So complex 1 can be called NADH oxidase or NADH dehydrogenase, and ubiquinone reductase can as well be NADH ubiquinone oxidoreductase. If it is so, tell me, Nana, what can be called cytochrome C reductase? Which complex?
Complex 4.
Complex.
Complex?
Complex 3.
3, sir.
Complex 3, Nana. Adding electrons is reducing, no beta. So cytochrome C reductase is complex 3. Cytochrome C oxidase is
Complex 4.
complex 4.
Complex 4.
Was removing electrons literally, isn't it? So that's how you can also name the complexes as enzymes. How many were oxidations during TCA cycle, Nana?
5.
TCA cycle, be careful.
4 oxide.
How many were oxidations in aerobic respiration for one glucose?
6.
6. One is in glycolysis, one is in link step, and 4 are in TCA cycle. Kada. Which oxidation of TCA cycle was forming FADH2?
Succinic acid to fumar.
Succinic coenzyme.
Which is nothing
Third
but
oxidation.
oxidation 3, nothing but oxidation of succinic acid to fumaric acid. Whereas remaining oxidations were forming NADH, but this oxidation forms FADH2. How many were substrate level phosphorylations in aerobic respiration?
3.
Yes. Out of them, 2 were in glycolysis, 1 was in
TCA.
TCA cycle.
PCA cycle.
PCA.
Yes. If substrate of aerobic respiration is acetyl-CoA, how many ATPs are you likely to get? 1 acetyl-CoA.
1.
Yeah. 12. Kadana. Because acetyl-CoA will give us 3 NADH, which in turn will give us 3 ATPC. So 9. Also 1 FADH we have, that will give us 2. 9 plus 2, 11. Then a substrate level phosphorylation. That was initially forming GTP, but it will become ATP on transphosphorylation. What is transphosphorylation meaning, Nana? To undergoing transphosphorylation, transfer of phosphorus.
TDP.
When GTP converts into GDP. Meanwhile, ADP converts into ATP. And this we got it by substrate level phosphorylation, where GDP was added with inorganic phosphate. Isn't it? If it is plants, you directly get ATP instead of GTP. In animals, first you get GTP, which is transphosphorylated to ATP. When I say transphosphorylation, you can even call two substrate level phosphorylations of glycolysis also. Suppose SLP1 of glycolysis, 1,3-bis-PGA to 3-PGA. That time, a phosphate is removed from bis-PGA, was added to ADP to form ATP. So they were also undergoing transphosphorylation. 1,3-bis-PGA becoming 3-PGA. This time ADP becomes ATP. Can as well be called transphosphorylation. This is transphosphorylation. But can you call this as transphosphorylation, Anna? No, simply phosphorylation. Because phosphate is added here. In TCA cycle, SLP, it is this, which can be simply called phosphorylation. Cannot be called transphosphorylation. SLP of glycolysis can be transphosphorylation, but SLP of TCA cycle cannot be transphosphorylation. However, GTPs formed can undergo transphosphorylation ultimately to give rise to ATP. The only electron carrier of electron transport system. Tell me better.
Cytochrome C.
From C, yes. Remaining were both electrons and protons carriers acting as, but cytochrome C is purely electron. The only proton carrier,
F naught.
Complex
Not
five.
particle.
part of complex 5, F naught, part of complex 5, or ATP synthase. The same will be there in photosynthesis to be called ATP synthetase. That of course is a difference. For 1-acetyl-CoA in aerobic respiration, how many ATPs are we likely to get?
3.
15.
1-acetyl-CoA, I said, be careful.
14, 18.
No. Start from acetyl-CoA, counting.
12.
Yes, better. Because acetyl-CoA, if it is, we have 3 NADH into 3, 9 ATPs, 1 FADH, that is 2. So 9 plus 2, 11, then 1 from SLP. 9 plus 2 plus 1, 2. If it is pyruvic acid,
13. No, sir.
yeah, better.
It will be
16,
15.
16.
15, sir.
15 that time. One more NADH is added.
One more NADH we have, so 15. 12 plus 3. For pyruvic acid, we take it as 15, provided you say it is in aerobic. If it is aerobic glycolysis, source of how many ATPs, tell me. Glycolysis linked to aerobic, especially electron transport.
8, sir, 8.
8.
8.
Formed over 10, but we take it as 10 minus 2 is equal to 8. Linked to aerobic, that way. For 1 glucose, Krebs cycle is the source of how many ATPs? In aerobic respiration.
2 ATPs.
6 ATP.
1 glucose, Krebs cycle, source of how many ATPs? Be careful.
17, sir.
Be careful.
2 ATPs.
No, aerobic I said better. For 1 glucose by SLP, Krebs cycle gives us 2. But I said aerobic respiration. Complete.
38.
No. TCA cycle for 1 glucose can be the source of how many? TCA cycle
12, sir.
15.
12, who said 12 is somewhat. If it is 12 for 1 turn of TCA cycle.
Yeah,
That-
24.
If I say glucose, 24 should be the answer.
Sir, then what about the ATPs formed in glycolysis?
We don't consider it is the question of only Krebs cycle source of how many ATPs. When I say only Krebs cycle, I am saying. Suppose if I say for 1 glucose, electron transport system is source of how many ATPs? For 1 glucose, ETS can form how many ATPs?
22, sir.
By ETS, how many ATPs were you getting, Nana?
11.
Be careful. For 1 glucose, through electron transport system, we showed flow chart, right? How many, Nana?
34 ATPs.
34 ATPs by electron transport system. Then remaining 4 were from substrate.
Glycolysis
2
and
from glycolysis and 2 from TCA.
Net gain was 2 from glycolysis, then 2 from TCA cycle, 4 more. So energetic terms, we have seen that. What is connecting link compound between glycolysis Krebs cycle?
acetyl-CoA.
Correct. Connecting link step is oxidative
Link
decarbonization of pyruvic acid into acetyl-CoA, but connecting link compound is acetyl-CoA between glycolysis. Actually, he says pyruvic acid takes part in TCA cycle through acetyl-CoA, he says, means after converting into acetyl-CoA. So that conversion itself, we called it as link step, nothing but oxidative decarboxylation. How many are decarboxylations in TCA cycle?
2.
How many beta?
2, sir.
2 is right. Of course, each turn is 2 turns, so 4 will occur, but we take it as 2 decarboxylations. That occur twice is a different thing. How many?
Successively.
Yes, better. Tell me, Nana.
Nothing.
How many turns of TCA cycle operate for 1 glucose?
2 turns.
2 turns.
2 turns.
For 1 acetyl-CoA, 1 turn. For 1 pyruvic acid, 1 turn. But for 1 glucose, because we have 2 pyruvic acids, so 2 acetyl-CoAs, so 2 turns. Okay. In terms of oxygen consumption, water molecules formation, is there a difference of FADH2 and NADH plus H plus?
Yes, sir.
In terms of
No, sir. No.
no. because each was requiring half O2, each was forming one H2O at the end. There's no difference. Difference was in number of protons accumulated and number of ATPs we were getting from there. Then development is the sum of which two phenomena?
Differentiation and growth.
Yes, Peter. Growth and differentiation. 17,500 new cells obtained from
Root apex of maize.
Pseudocyclones stem.
root apical meristem of maize. In how much time, Nana?
1 hour.
That's important. 1 hour duration also important. A watermelon fruit cell elongates how many times?
350,000.
350,000 times, 3.5 lakh times. Watermelon also was example of maximum water content 92%. Arithmetic growth is calculated as
LT is equal to L naught plus RT.
LT is equal to L naught plus RT. If it is geometric growth, calculated as
W naught E.
WT is equal to W naught E to the power R.
W naught. W, 1 or W naught, no.
W1 equals W naught.
W1
E
is
for
equal
R.
to
W1 is equal to W naught E to the power RT. What are the two successive decarboxylations of TCA cycle?
Conversion of alpha ketoglutarate
Oxalosuccinate.
acid to
Yeah, no, formation of alpha ketoglutarate acid and breakdown of alpha ketoglutarate. Both are decarboxylations only. And that are two successive decarboxylation. First one is who was undergoing oxalosuccinic acid. Second one who was undergoing alpha ketoglutarate acid. Successive decarboxylations. One root apical meristem can give rise to more than 17,500 new cells per hour. Nano. More than. That is also important. What type of growth curve is for arithmetic growth?
linear.
Whereas for geometric growth,
S-shaped sigmoid curve.
sigmoid.
yeah, a-shaped curve or stigmoid curve with 3 phases: lag phase, log phase, stationary phase. What is log phase also called, Nana?
Exponential.
Yes, exponential phase. What kind of a curve can we expect in a tree showing seasonal activity?
Sigmoid, sir.
Yes, better. Which substrate of TCA cycle can be withdrawn to form proteins?
Alpha ketoglutarate.
Alpha ketoglutarate acid.
Yes. Through glutamate. RQ value for proteins is less than 1 because proteins are poor in oxygen or rich in oxygen?
Poor in oxygen.
Poor in oxygen content. Same is the case with lipids also. RQ value is a unity for which substrate?
Carbohydrates.
Carbohydrate in aerobic respiration. In amphibolic pathway, acetyl-CoA can be withdrawn to form so many organic compounds such as cutin, gibberellin, ABA. RQ value is significant in two ways. In another, it enables us to find out nature of substrate. Okay? The conditions also during respiration means
Type
type
of acid.
also. The balance sheet is prepared based on assumptions. How many were there now? 5 assumptions. Either 1 glucose is the substrate, full-fledged. 2, all 4 steps occur in a row. 3, NADH of glycolysis enters mitochondria to take part in ETS. Kadanana. Otherwise, balance will get affected. And of course, it is aerobic respiration. Then no intermediate is withdrawn. No intermediate is added also. So all the 4 go in a sequence. On that assumption only balance sheet made. In reality, it won't be that, but ultimately calculation sake is concerned, it is right. Tripometic acid. What is plural formula, Nana?
CP7H98O6.
C51, sorry, C51H98O6. How many molecules take part at a time?
2, sir.
2 molecules.
2 molecules. That's why we were getting 1 or 2 molecules of CO. For which kind of respiration? RQ value is infinity, Nana?
Alcoholic fermentation.
Yes. Anaerobic respiration, you can say, because no oxygen utilized anywhere. Okay. What is time now? 11:12. Oh, we have 3 minutes more. No problem. Growth in an organism is possible when which metabolic process is more than the other one?
Anabolic.
Anabolism is greater than
Okay.
catabolism.
When anabolism is greater than catabolism. Fatty acids take part in respiration in which form, Nana? By converting it to which form?
Acetyl-CoA.
Acetyl-CoA. Acetyl-CoA is common for fatty acids, fats, carbohydrates, and even proteins also. And glycerol will take part in which form, Nana?
Dihydrophosphate.
No. By converting into
Aldehyde phosphate.
GAL.
GAP or P-gal or glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Through DAP, that's a different thing. So taking part is as a gap through DAP. That's how it is interpreted in the textbook also, Nana. So you also should take it as that. Some are interpreting decarboxylation of oxidation of isocyclic acid and decarboxylation of oxalosuccinate together as oxidative decarboxylation. That's how in the cycle of textbook also shown for us, Nana. CO2 release followed by NADH formation he shows. So they are mixing up two together to be called as oxidative decarboxylation. But in detail, when we go, there is only one oxidation associated with decarboxylation. Which oxidation of TCA cycle associated with decarboxylation?
Second oxidation.
Yes.
Alpha ketoglutarate acid to
Alpha
succinate.
ketoglutarate acid. In TCA, in aerobic epidase, there was one more link step also, oxidation associated with decarboxylation. Okay, Nana? Read well. All the best for this weekend exam. Yeah, it is done. See you on Monday.
Thank you, sir.
Bye,
Thank
beta.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.